my channel. My name is M.R.E.ngineering and today I'm going to talk about some technical tips that can help you to maintain and use your car electrical system better and more efficient. Please note that I talk about each case in general because you are not supposed to do any service work on your car electrical system. And remember that electricity is a silent and invisible potential danger, and your false self-confidence can result in your property or body damage. Imagine that you have just sat in your car and command your car to start. In this moment, a no start engine can be a very big disappointment. This problem can have many reasons, and through a study of each case requires an exclusive video that I'll make them in the future. But today, I want to talk about this problem in brief. Already, I explained the process of starting a car step by step, and if you follow those steps very carefully, I think very likely you can find a reason that your car is not starting. Now, I'll review them again. First thing that you need to do when you want to start a car is that you follow the exact procedure that is indicated in your car owner manual. For example, if it requires that you press the brake or clutch pedal to close the circuit or send a signal to an ECU, you need to do that. Then, when you command the engine to start, engine control module asks for immobilizer permission for starting. So, if you saw that the security light on the dash is flashing, it means that there's a problem with the system and probably you can start your car. Generally, when you want to start a car, always carefully watch the instrumental panel when you turn the key to the wrong position. If no light on this panel is lit, probably you have a problem with the battery or its connections. But if you have some lights on this panel, but the check engine light is not lit, likely your ECM is the culprit. In all of these cases, you can't hear any noise from the fuel pump indicating that it's activated to get primed. But if the security system grants the permission and engine control module is working properly, but the starter is not turning or it doesn't function properly, other than the starter, maybe you have a weak battery or there's a problem on battery posts or there's a bad positive or negative connection on the starter. Also, engine mechanical problems sometimes show the same symptoms. But if the engine cranks but it doesn't start, maybe you have a problem with the fuel, air or sparks and you need to visit a service shop. Also, maybe one of the electrical system or accessories of your car is not working. For these issues, you can refer to circuit principles that I already explained, and very likely you can find the reason. Sometimes a loose ground connection is the cause, or maybe a fuse under the dash or in engine compartment fuse box has blown. But always be cautious about the fuses when you want to replace them. The reason that the fuse has blown can be a short to the negative side, so when you want to insert the new fuse inside, it makes a spark and blows immediately again. So before you replace the fuse, always try to find the reason of the blow and always use the fuse with the same amp rating as the original one, because using a fuse with higher amp rating can cause severe damage to the components and even can make a fire. And maybe on your car you have found a damaged wire that needs to be changed, or for any other reason you want to extend a wire. My recommendation for this issue is that you never ever use a wire with less diameter than the other wires that are used on that circuit, because with less diameter resistance of the wire increases, that can generate excessive heat, fusion of the wires, and even can lead to a fire. And remember that when you want to work on electrical systems, wisely remove the battery negative connection, or to avoid ECU's memory loss, you can neutral that system by removing the related fuse for that circuit. Not following this precaution can cause sparks, blown fuses, and then can make a fire. And never do anything to the wires that are connected to those yellow connectors, because yellow connectors are mainly used by the airbags, and manipulating them can ignite the airbags even if the car is off and you have removed the battery negative connection. And also, a frustrating problem with the cars is a drained battery every morning. Three main reasons can cause this problem. First, maybe the battery needs your attention, or probably it's dying. Second, maybe the alternator doesn't work properly, or its drive belt is loose. And third, maybe there's a parasitic drain from one of the electrical system or accessories of a car that is drawing current from the battery with amp rating that is less than the rating of the fuse that is protecting that circuit. Diagnosing all three of them requires experience of working with digital multimeters, and Tesla is for the third one. I have a simple solution that the owners can do, and sometimes it works. To do this job, you first need to simulate the closing of the doors and hood by deactivating the door jam switch and then wait a few minutes so all the modules go into sleep. Then use a low amp fuse and eventually I decided to cut the technique out of this video because I thought that everybody could do that properly. That might end up in damage to the sensitive modules on some models. Also, if your car has started and during engine on condition, you saw that the battery light on the dash is illuminating, it indicates that there's a problem with the battery or charging system. Also, on some cars and models, there's a safety switch that is also known as inertial switch, and it is used to cut the electrical power for fuel pump in an accident or rollover. Also, malfunctions and hard impacts can open this switch. So, if you have just passed over a pothole and your car has turned off, this switch can be the culprit. Sometimes, simply pushing the metal ball on this switch can solve the problem. And another tip is that if you have a burnt lamp in your car, refer to your car owner manual for instructions for replacing that with new one. But if aftermarket headlight system is used on your car, refer to a qualified technician because some high voltage systems can shock you dangerously. Also, if you have a hybrid or electric car, don't touch those orange high voltage wires or cables or the components that these wires or cables are attached to, even when you think that your car is off. At the end, I recommend you to keep a flashlight or a DC LED light in your car to use that in emergencies by connecting that to the battery. I hope that this video was useful and informative for you and worth the precious time that you spend for watching that. Please subscribe to my channel if you like and press the bell icon to be notified if I have a new video on my channel. Bye.